Yo, you're watching the Screaming Fish here, people, and today it's finally time to rank all 13 MCU movies, including Captain America Civil War. And I'm also just going to give you a quick update. I have had a little cold for a little while, which is why you didn't see me a week earlier. I probably told you in the last video, can't really remember, who knows. But, yeah, just bear with me. If I sound a little weird, then that probably means either I've got a blocked nose or something like that. So anyway, just bear with me, and let's rank all 13 MCU films, starting with number 13, Thor: The Dark World. Thor: The Dark World may have good effects, great cast, and hilarious humor, but I found myself really slashed down the middle with this one, mainly because of a really boring storyline, terrible villain, and undeniably stupid moments, and a whole bucket full of missed opportunities. I can't really say much on it, so I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. There were a lot of missed opportunities for The Dark World that I just couldn't deny felt a little bit missed. So anyway, number 12, Iron Man 2. Honestly, this movie felt like I was watching a superhero movie about a superhero who just hated life. This is unfortunately the worst in terms of humor and storytelling, as the humor consists of Tony Stark peeing in his Iron Man suit, and drunk Iron Man versus War Machine. Not to mention, Whiplash was a beyond terrible villain. We did get, however, the introduction to Black Widow and other characters like War Machine, and the action was at the very least enjoyable. It gets with me a 6 out of 10, only because it was at least enjoyable in some scenes. So, number 11 goes to The Incredible Hulk. I know what you're gonna say, this is a bit unusually high, particularly because of what I said about the movie in the review, but I'm gonna come out and say it right here, right now. I like Edward Norton as Bruce Banner. He was actually alright in the movie, and I love William Hurt as General Thunderbolt Ross. The action-wise, the movie is great. However, the story felt rushed with an underused villain, in my opinion, and pretty bad CGI. The story didn't bother me too much, though, and there were aspects I did like enough to think it was better than both Iron Man 2 and Thor: The Dark World. However, it still gets a 6 out of 10 from me due to its issues regarding storytelling and CGI effects. So, number 10, we're in the top 10 now, people. This is exciting. It is exciting. Number 10 is Thor. The first Thor had, in my opinion, a pretty good cast and story to go with it. Characters were very good as well, and not to mention the brilliant CGI effects and action scenes. And I liked how the film focused on Thor being banished to the mortal realm for his actions and him learning the important things about life. However, that part of the story does tend to drag a bit and can sometimes get a bit boring, which is pretty much why I think the film lacks thunder. But we got Loki, so yay! It still gets a 7 out of 10 though, because, like I said, the Thor being the human part of the story, which does carry on for quite a bit, gets a bit boring sometimes, but that could easily be looked past if you're a hardcore Marvel fan a genuine film goer. So, number 9 goes to Iron Man 3. I did enjoy the concept of an Iron Man movie where Tony Stark had to fight bad guys without his suit for once, and the story I found to be quite a well-written one. And the action and comedy was simply brilliant compared to most of the other movies in the franchise, though it does fall short of well-written storytelling and lacks the Marvel feeling, and like Thor, the story can get a bit boring at times. And I absolutely hated the fact that the Mandarin, one of the coolest villains of all time, was pretty much a joke character. We did get an amazing action sequence involving all of Iron Man's armors versus extremists in the end, so that was pretty good. But it still gets a 7 out of 10 because, again, it had issues with storytelling and it doesn't really feel like an MCU movie at times. So, number 8 goes to Captain America: The First Avenger. Captain America: The First Avenger gave us a great origin story to Captain America that didn't turn out to be dumb off film the way most people predicted. The story was pretty good, the action was brilliant, and I loved the characters and how it like reference characters like Iron Man and with the inclusion of Iron Man's father. And let's be honest, Chris Evans is perfect in the role as Captain America. However, I did not like the character of Red Skull, as he was very undeveloped and was only there really to remind us that he's evil and I'm going to destroy the world. And yeah, that's all I can say about the Red Skull. But on the plus side, most of the characters were properly developed. I didn't find the side characters very entertaining though. They weren't really interesting enough. They weren't properly developed. But all the main ones were developed, so at least I still enjoy. I did enjoy this movie for the most part. So thumbs up for this one. Though I still give it a 7 out of 10, mainly because of Red Skull. Yeah. So number 7 is Avengers: Age of Ultron. While I did have issues with the effects and how everything seemed really overstuffed and the villain of Ultron not really getting a chance to properly show us what he's capable of instead of plucking cities from the ground and getting killed right at the end, it was still fun to see the gang back together, and for what it's worth, the movie is very entertaining and does have some pretty strong moments, and I love James Spader as Ultron. But while Age of Ultron may be one of the weaker MCU movies, it still gets the marks for, at the very least, being fun. 7 out of 10. So number 6 is Iron Man. I know what you're thinking. Why is this movie not even in the top 5? I didn't really like the villain for one, and I found Pepper Potts to be quite annoying. But other than that, the film started this whole franchise off, and is one of my favorites in the franchise, as you can see. And I still think this is the second best MCU movie Robert Downey Jr. has starred in. The effects and action were amazing, and the origin story was done perfectly, and almost everything about the movie is awesome. I did have a few minor issues like the villain, as I said before, but I still enjoyed the film a lot. 8 out of 10. So number 5, you guys are probably going to even hate Ant-Man haters are going to hate me even more. Number 5 is Ant-Man. Possibly the funniest of the bunch, and in my opinion, very underrated. Ant-Man packed enough story, action, and brilliant comedy to keep me going through this one. Ant-Man treated me to a new perspective of superhero movies. It's also a brilliant heist movie, as well as a brilliant comic book movie, and was some of the best fun I've ever had in the cinema yet. I didn't like the villain, but everything else was done so brilliantly well that I could hardly care, and it also showed me that big surprises can come in small packages. See what I did there? No, not really. Okay, I'm gonna shut up with the jokes now. So yeah, I like Ant-Man more than I like Iron Man. I said it. Let the hate comments come in. So number 4 is Avengers. Almost nothing can beat the movie that finally brought all our favorite superheroes together, minus Spider-Man, to the big screen for the first time ever, and boy was it worth the wait. Director Joss Whedon took a whole cast of heroes and turned it into one of the best comic book movies ever made, with a great story and action, special effects, and great villain for crying out loud. Nothing can beat the movie except the 3 above it. And yeah, I give Avengers 9 out of 10 for bringing all of our favourite superhero movies to the big screen for the first time ever, people. So yeah, Avengers gets a 9 out of 10, as I've said twice already. So, number 3 is Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't like the villain, but like Ant-Man, everything else is done so perfectly that I could hardly care. Chris Pratt and co are fantastic in a role, particularly Dave Bautista, who gets the best line of dialogue in the movie. But nothing can beat the unstoppable force that is Rocket Raccoon and Groot, and who are by far the best characters in the movie. And not that this isn't already obvious, but this is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen, honestly. And this is one of the most unexpectedly awesome movies I ever made. Yeah. Seriously. It was such an unexpected... I actually thought it was going to be pretty bad when I first saw the trailer, but honestly, it just turned out great. It was just amazing. So, yeah, like I said, bad villain, but couldn't care less. 10 out of 10. So, number 2 goes to Captain America, the Winter Soldier. The Russo brothers proved that Captain America was a story worth telling. They made a pretty gutsy move with this one and turned it into an action spy thriller, and boy did it work. It fitted the movie so well, and the action is some of the best I've seen in any movie. I'm also going to say that the Winter Soldier is the best villain in the MCU period, and to be honest, I think this movie has the second best story in the franchise. So, it gets a 10 out of 10. Obviously, from me. So, number 1 is obviously Captain America Civil War. I reviewed 12 movies just to get to this. Captain America Civil War was worth the wait. It achieved the one thing Batman v Superman failed to do, and that was keep a balanced and well-written story with more characters than even the Avengers. But it worked so well. We finally had that emotional connection between our characters that we've been missing for pretty much the whole of Phase 2. I'll also say that the movie gave us the best on-screen version of Spider-Man we've ever had, as well as the brilliant inclusion of Black Panther and the emotional storyline to go with it. I have to say that nothing, absolutely nothing, can top the airport action sequence in the film, and it was just amazing seeing all these heroes come together on screen. In one incredible action sequence, and they finally made Tony Stark interesting again. It's also the best comic book movie I've ever seen, mainly because of the Russo brothers had the guts to tackle thought-provoking themes and made it, and it turned out to be a great movie. 10 out of 10. So guys, thank you for watching. This is how I'd rank the MCU movie reviews. You're probably not going to get another Marvel Cinematic Universe movie review from me until Doctor Strange. I might do a surprise one. I might just have a little surprise short film or TV review even. But I'm just going to have to wait on this one because I'm sort of like halfway through Daredevil Season 2 and I haven't even watched Agent Carter or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So yeah. Thank you for watching though, and please don't forget to like or subscribe if you like the channel. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook for more content. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, guys.